Hey, what's up guys? Andrew from American Musical Supply here at NAMM 2023. I'm at the Pioneer DJ booth with my man DJ J. How are you?
Good man, how are you?
Good,
Great to see you.
Likewise.
We're back at a NAMM show.
Always a good time coming by here.
Always.
So we got a new mixer that you're going to tell us about, right?
We do.
Okay.
This is now our new flagship club, festival, mobile, any event you want mixer. This is in line with the DJM 900 Nexus 2, and it's actually the replacement for that mixer.
Okay.
But we've taken some of the new technology from other products, added it in, and made the most incredible sounding mixer we carry today.
Right on.
Maybe outside of the V10, but this is really for the 4-channel guys and gals that are doing different clubs, festivals, those kind of events. Some of the new things, you're gonna look right here and see that we have multiple cue buttons. That's because this mixer now gives you 2 headphone inputs.
Okay.
So if you want to do a back-to-back set, I can cue my channels, you can cue your channels. We've also added effects now on the microphone. We've got a pitch effect, an echo effect, and a megaphone effect. So you get that kind of muffled megaphone thing. We've also added reverb. We've changed something I think a lot of DJs will actually really like. We now have a push button for the microphone to go on and off.
Oh, cool.
Instead of having to reach up and hit a little switch,
right,
simply hit it, you're on. We now have on the top the USB inputs. A lot of people wanted to join the technology age and go to USB-C. So we've given you both that option. We now added USB-C in there. We have the 4-channel layout that everyone's going to be familiar with. Because we've added some other things, we've taken the color effects and put them here. And you see this white light and it says channel lock. Normally, when you have one of these for filter or one of the other color effects, you just turn it all day long. And you might get right back to 0, you might not. So what we've done is, because it was a big request, if you turn this now and turn it back, it locks.
Okay.
It's a mechanical locking. So I can do this all day and it won't go past where I need it to stop. I can if I want to just stop and go slowly and then go through.
Right.
Or I can take the lock off and still get full spin. But that's really been something people have been happy about. Now they can take any effect, do this, and they're right back at 0. Coming over here, we have some of the same cool features that we had on the 900 Nexus 2 as far as the USB in here for send return or send return on the back. This one also has this antenna which allows you to send Bluetooth. So you can send a Bluetooth signal to any of the channels, use effects on it, do whatever you'd like. You're at a gig and you suddenly have to throw a signal in, bang. This also will carry Wi-Fi and create its own network. We're going to be using an app coming up called Stagehand, and that's going to feed in here and give you some additional controls from an iPad or a phone when you're using this. One other thing I think people are going to like, now instead of a selector, dark club, you're like, which channel am I doing effects on? Now we have these buttons. So you see this is now light blue. That means that I've got an effect and the effect is on. When the effect's on, it blinks. When the effect's off, it just stays blue. So in any environment, I can tell where my effect is. I've got this big screen to see it, and I can tell what's going on.
Wow.
We've also added an EQ for the booth monitor. People are like, why would you do that? Well, a lot of people get into a booth and they've got big 18-inch subs on either side, and they can't get any of their highs or mids. So you can now EQ your own booth monitor. And one last thing I'm a huge fan of up here on this screen in the menu, you can now tell it, when I get on the microphone, kill the mic to the booth speakers. So again, if you're in a club environment, you've got speakers right on top of you, you're not going to feed back, because the second you speak, just like our talk over feature, it'll kill the signal going to the booth speakers, so you won't have to worry about feedback.
Wow.
So this is the thing you're going to start seeing in nightclubs. I spoke to some famous DJs yesterday. It's already on their riders. You're going to see it coming up at different festivals. It's incredibly good sounding. We've changed a lot of the internals to give it the best quality sound we can. So this is our new DJM A9 mixer.
Wow, sounds pretty comprehensive. That's awesome. It also sounds like you really listen to the users and taking user feedback. And,
you know, that's our bread and butter.
Right.
We're a DJ company for DJs. We have to listen to what people want within reason of what are the majority of people asking for. And it's something simple like this. You
Right.
look down and like, which channel am I affecting? Oh, there it is. That blue light tells me I have a beat effect on that channel. Oh, now I've moved it. You know, 2 headphones.
Right.
Once we came out with that with the Tour 1 a few years ago, and then the V10, it was a huge thing. Again, people want to do back-to-back.
Right.
And they don't want to just keep handing headphones. Now we've given them that ability to plug in either mini or quarter headphone, and now you can have these 2 channels, I'll have these 2, we can tear it up.
That's right on. Wow, cool. So we're going to move over and talk about a new controller, right? The
Love to show you the DDJ Flex 10.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. So here we are now with our newest controller. This is the DDJ Flex 10. Love the layout of this. Those of you familiar with the DDJ 1000 are going to fit into this perfectly. What we've done is given you better visuals on the platters. You now actually get both waveforms. So when you're looking down, you see your waveform playing through, and you can see the other waveform. It's going to take your eyes off the computer a little bit, get your eyes back on the crowd. DJs are always accustomed to looking down, so it's going to be perfect. Coming here to the mixer, we've changed the 6 color effects. We've now stacked them, much similar to the DJM A9 as you saw just a second ago. The big party favor with this, and I just want to play this real quick, just something. We now have these 3 buttons. These are for record box parts, AKA stems. Okay. So now as I'm playing a track, if I wanted to take out drums, if I want to take out vocal, doing a gig and I want to talk over the song, or I just want an instrumental version of a song, now I've got that. Take out the instrument. Now I've got vocal and drum. Now I've got just drum. The possibilities are endless with this. All the things like even a mobile DJ can start doing at a wedding. That's not a mix, that's just me going, taking things out.
So can you do that, say with like, you could have the drums from one deck and then
I can do dual deck, so I can take 2 tracks and start putting them over each other, where I've got a cappella from one track playing over drum and instrument from another, exactly. And I can go in, and if you see the beat effects button, just like over there, I want to take and put effects on it. So, incredible possibilities on this. Really friendly for the mobile guys and gals. Very wedding, club, bar, corporate, whatever event you want to do. And again, if you're coming off of a DDJ 1000, you're going to fit into this in a heartbeat. It's not going to bother you in the least. I look like I know what I'm doing to a certain degree, don't I? Pushing buttons, and that's my life.
Sounded great, man.
And now you hear nothing because I've killed everything, see? That's the beauty of it. I mean, I think I was one of those people that was like, oh, I do my events, I don't need all, and now I listen to it and I'm like, wow, how did I not know I needed this so badly? Because it's really going to give you that creativity with music that was lacking. Like I play the same song you play, that she plays, until I start manipulating it with my style. And now an audience gets a new experience.
It's almost like a live remix.
It really is. And it's not something I think a lot of DJs initially thought would be on their radar. And now it's so widely accepted in the industry that we're giving you a great tool with Rekordbox DJ to really take things to the next level.
Okay, cool. So what else have we got that's new? There's one other product.
There is. I want to show you our new boutique, big time controller.
Okay.
The Opus Quad.
All right.
Doesn't even have anything between the names. It's Opus Quad.
Let's go check it out.
Let's look at it.
All right.
All right. This is the one that a lot of people are talking about because it's very different from what I think people have seen from Pioneer DJ. And over the years, we've been so innovative. CDJ 1000, DVJ 1000, SVM 1000. We've created products that have changed the industry, but also things that I think were ahead of their time. And our engineers sat down with our product planning team and said, what can we do that's going to really grab the DJs that are doing the big club gigs, the big restaurant, corporate world, that want an art piece, not just a tool. Well, we've made a tool that looks futuristic and is incredibly beautiful with accents of copper. This is the Opus Quad. It's also the first time we've made a 4-channel, fully controlled off of a USB drive. Now I can play 4 channels at once off of 1 drive.
Wow.
It also has such fast processing, I can plug a terabyte, 2 terabyte drive into the back, and all of that comes up on this beautiful 10-inch screen. I really can work without a computer. It does have a computer input if I wanted to run Rekordbox that way, but so many people have been asking for a breakaway from the laptop. We all came up with vinyl, we came up with cassettes, we came up with CDs. we didn't have laptops. And sometimes that can be the weak link in the chain. Where I work, it gets very hot. Laptops don't like heat. Gear seems fine with it. So between the accents on the front, the piece, if you look closely, it actually angles up at a slight angle. It's got a lot of real art piece work in it, accent points, but it's still an incredible tool. Some of the features, outside of the fact that I can do 4 decks at once, we've moved a lot of it to here to make this much cleaner looking. You don't see the beat effects setup. That's now up here on the screen. We have the beat effects locker where I can put my 4 favorite effects, keep them on the screen. Then whenever I call those up, I've got this XY axis to use the effect instead of just turning a knob.
Wow.
Now again, I can be more creative. One of the cool things that I'm a huge fan of, oftentimes you don't know where you are on the decks, especially if you're using 4 decks. You notice this ring is purple, this one is blue, representing that I can change the colors per deck. So if I want to see purple, green, blue, and white, that's what these will do. But the other one that really blew me away, I've got my hot cue buttons up here, much like the CDJ 3000. This cue button is blinking orange, always does. Here's one of the cool features. I can go into the menu and tell it to do this. Most DJs hit a cue point at the beginning of the song. Then they have hot cues, but if they hit the hot cue button again, the song jumps back to the beginning. What we've changed is this. I'm playing a song, if I hit that, this turns the same color as the hot cue, and so does the ring in the middle of there. Now it turns green on green, but here's the cool part. If I hit Q, it stays at the green. It doesn't jump back to the beginning. I can still make it do that, but I would really rather at an event, if I have to stop a song, or if I'm listening in the headphones and I'm halfway through, I don't want to hit Q, go back to the beginning, and then have to find where I was. So now every time I hit one of the hot cues, it's going to change the color, ring and ring. So I always know where I am in the song. Plus I have this big waveform. Plus I have this waveform, so I know this one I can stack. Then I can pull up on the decks what I want to do, whether I want to use effects, whether I want to send Bluetooth in, whatever I want to do. Everything and anything I can need is right here. And as you see, it's a piece you're going to put on a counter for the right client, the right event, where you're not even going to want a case for it, because you're going to want people to see what this is. It's doing really well, and I think people, once they get a chance to play on it, they're going to love the platter response, and they're going to love all the intuitiveness that we put into the screen on the menu.
Awesome. Wow.
The Opus Quad.
Wow. Very cool. Well, thanks for showing us through all these new products.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Anytime.
And if you're interested in finding out more information about any of these or any other Pioneer DJ products, you can head on over to AmericanMusical.com. Thanks, Jay.
You got it. Thanks, Andrew.